Hi, welcome to my next video. This time something a bit different than usual because this is part 1 of 2. I was commissioned in 2022 to do 2 illustrations for the MD Paper company, so the makers of the awesome notebooks and sketchbooks that I use almost every day in my work. They asked me to do 2 illustrations for their limited edition anniversary version of their notebooks. So I will show you one here and I will show you the next one in next video in part 2. I have a bit of a relationship with this maker, with the MD Paper, because of course I have been using their notebooks and sketchbooks almost every day. I write a lot of things in their notebooks and I sketch in the cotton sketchbooks almost every day. All the idea drawings, all the pencil sketches, all the kind of rough drawings that I do for my stores, for example, for the new storefront series. And also when I just want to sketch and get an idea out, I grab the cotton sketchbooks and I have already filled a lot of them. I will make a new video with the ones that I finished recently soon, I think, or maybe a live stream. But anyway, I have a relationship with this company also because they actually invited me to talk to them, to give opinions about their products, and I help them kind of showcase their stuff when they have a new product that they want to show on their website. I'm one of the people that go to the photo studio to actually draw something or write something, and they film it and make photos. So later when you see something on their website like a new fountain pen or a sketchbook photos, most of the times recently it had been me who was like doing the drawing and sketching, and you can see my hands in their videos and so on. So now they have the 15th anniversary of the MD Paper, so they wanted to do some updates to their line of notebooks, and they also have some new special edition products and so on. So they asked me again to participate in this project, and they commissioned me to do 2 illustrations for this, for the limited edition of the notebooks. So you will be able to actually buy a limited edition of the notebook with my picture on the cover. There are many artists that do this, and also they asked me to do an illustration inside on a spread of the notebook, so they can feature it in a event in Japan. So there will be like small exhibitions of these notebooks made by the artists that they invited. So there are many awesome artists, so just go and check their website. I will link it below, and there's also a website that sells the limited edition of the notebooks. But I'll talk about the limited edition of the notebooks in the second part of this video, because it's about the ability to draw on the cover of the notebooks, because they changed the paper and so on. So I'll talk about this one later. But here I'm drawing the illustration that they asked me to do for the exhibition. So this is the spread. So I was asked to do an illustration that will be on the both sides of the paper. I had to choose like this place in the notebook. When you open it, it's like one piece of paper. And I thought, okay, so if I'm going to do a wide illustration like this on both sides of the notebook, let's choose something that's kind of panoramic. So I chose this fish eye style scene, like a street somewhere, a bit inspired by the streets that we saw in Kanazawa and in Kyoto. This is not a real place. This is something that I just sketched from my imagination, and I first did a pencil sketch to just figure everything out. And when I more or less knew what I was doing, I printed it on a piece of paper, on 2 pieces of paper, and just kind of slipped this sketch like in between the pages of the notebook. This is because I couldn't like just paint on a sheet of paper. I had to use this notebook as it is, because it will be displayed in the exhibition. So I chose to use waterproof ink, which inking nibs, so with Manga artist nibs, and with fountain pen also for the thicker lines, and then just use a bit of watercolors to color the whole piece. I have to be a bit careful with this because this paper is not really meant to be used with watercolors. It warps really badly when used with water, so it's really just for writing and for drawing. But I wanted to try to do a color piece anyway, so I thought that if I'll be careful with the amount of water and not put too much watercolors and too much water at once, I should be able to make it so it actually looks like a rough sketch that I did somewhere. So that was the image that I started with. I finished the line work first, just using the sketch that I printed and slipped between the pieces of paper as the underdrawing. I didn't do a separate sketch on the final paper. I didn't even have to use a tracing table because the paper in the notebook is so thin that I was able to see just a bit, just enough, the print underneath. I used, I think, 3 types of inking nibs and the fountain pen to have a bit of line width variation, so I can make thinner lines for things that are farther in the distance and thicker lines for objects that are really close to the viewer, to the camera. This way I have some kind of depth effect without even having the colors in. After I finished the lines, I started with the watercolor, and even though I went slowly and with not much water as planned, the paper warped really badly and things got wonky, but I still like it. I still like the effect. It looks like a sketch of something, of a place that I would do maybe outside. It's rough and it has all the problems that the warped paper causes, so it's not even and so on, but it has the specific kind of atmosphere that I was aiming for, and that's what counts for me in this piece. I like how it looks. I like the feelings that I managed to convey in this, so yeah, I think it's a win. And I had a lot of fun drawing it because I was just playing around with a concept, just drawing from imagination. I used some photos that we took in Kanazawa just to add some details here and there, but overall this was just a fun session of sketching, so to say. And even more fun because I was able to use the Manga inking nibs and fountain pens on this paper, which is very nice. Okay, I'll leave you here for the rest of the drawing and painting process, and I'll meet you at the end of the video. Okay, the illustration is nearly complete. As you can see, probably I had a lot of problems to finish it on this thin and warpy paper with watercolors. But I think that in reality, the effect was quite alright. Actually, the MD paper staff asked me to make some photos of my work process, and if you look at the last one that I took, the picture looks a lot better than in the video somehow. I also scanned it and edited it a bit to get rid of the paper warp effect, and I like the result a lot. I think it's one of the most atmospheric kind of sketches that I did recently, and I like how the line work and the colors turned out and kind of complement each other. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in part 2 of this small MD paper commission. As always, feel free to comment, share and subscribe, and you can also support me on Patreon. It's your support on Patreon that allows me to make videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!